respetando la virtud y honor. Abajo cadenas, abajo cadenas, gritaba el Señor, gritaba el Señor. El pobre en su choza libertad pidió, y a este santo nombre, templo de pavor, el vil egoísmo que otra vez triunfó. Y a este santo nombre, y a este santo nombre, templo de pavor, el vil egoísmo que otra vez triunfó. El vil egoísmo que otra vez triunfó. Gloria al bravo pueblo que el yugo lanzó, la ley respetando la virtud y honor. Gloria al bravo pueblo que el yugo lanzó, la ley respetando la virtud y honor.
And now, the national anthem by Freddie Penaglia.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight of the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare of the first stinging air grew through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Of the land and of the free, and the
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the feature attraction of the evening. 15 rounds for the middleweight championship of the world. Here at the Boston Garden, make it in Massachusetts. Promoters, top-ranked Bob Arum and Rip Valenti. Officials working are judges from Montreal, Canada, Gay Jutras. From England, Mike Jacobs. Your referee from Mexico, Octavia Meda. In the red corner, wearing black with the white stripes and weighing 159.5 pounds, the #1 WBC and WBA undefeated middleweight contender from Venezuela, Fulgencio Obelmejias. the blue corner, wearing maroon trunks, weighing 159.5 pounds, from Brockton, Massachusetts, the middleweight champion of the world, Marvin Marvelous Haglar.
Get him up.
Well, all the anticipation is now over. It is time to get to it. Marvin Haglar, clearly the crowd favorite here, although Fulgencio Obelmejias really has an awful lot of support here. A large contingent from Venezuela. The scoring, the 10-point must system. A fighter cannot lose a round any worse than 10-7. 3 knockdown rule has been waived. Round 1 just underway here. Obelmejias in the dark trunks with the red stripes. The champion Marvin Haglar in the red trunks. Haglar fighting an unknown quantity here in Fully Obel. Obel has been very, very calm and seemingly very, very relaxed throughout the pre-fight activities. He has 30 victories in a row. 28 of them have come by knockdown. The question, or knockout rather, the question, of course, who has he fought? He has not fought anyone the likes of Marvin Haglar. Fighters a little bit cautious here early on, just underway, first round middleweight championship of the world at stake, both the WBA and the WBC. First minute of the first round has been a testing round. Right hand by Obelmejias scores. Haglar yet to really unleash.
As I see it now, Barrett, both fighters carry potent punches with them. And I believe whichever fighter begins to land his punches, clean punches, will pretty much be the dominant one.
Obel pretty much of a straight-up fighter. That is not the kind of fighter that has given Marvin Haglar trouble. Vito Antuofermo gave him a lot of trouble, but he's the kind of guy that just keeps boring in at you. Obel had great confidence coming into this fight. Although there was a lot of criticism in the Boston papers that since he came up to Boston from Venezuela, he had not been working out very hard. But I also remember that about Ingemar Johansson in his first fight with Floyd Patterson. Under a minute to go in the first round. Hand lead misses by Haglar. Haglar will switch hands. He's a natural left-hander, but he will switch hands, come around to the right side occasionally. Did that a lot against Antuofermo.
Right now they're sizing each other and trying to get the geometry and quickness between them, see how far apart they have to stay to be effective. By the end of this round, they'll pretty well have each other sized up in terms of quickness and reach.
Interesting that even though Obel is 4 inches taller than Marvin Haglar, the reach of the two is exactly the same, 75 inches. End of round 1. Fairly even round. Both fighters a little bit cautious after the first 3 minutes of the fight. Obelmejias, incidentally, cheering on his fans, and he does have plenty of support as you look into the corner of Marvin Haglar.
I thought that Obel was a little bit more the aggressor in that fight. He was more willing to find out about Haglar more than Haglar was to find out about him. He threw more punches. He was a more positive force. He certainly acts like a man who's won all of his fights and doesn't have any understanding of what it is to lose. He's a very positive fighter.
I feel that Haglar's waiting to see what Obel has to offer. And I'm quite sure as the rounds go by, you're going to see a different story in Marvin Haglar.
And also there's the factor of stamina. because so many of his fights have been by knockouts, he's fought very few fights beyond 6 or 7 rounds, and so Haglar is definitely not in any rush.
Well, the talk, of course, is that Obel has fought most of his fights in Caracas, which is true, but he also went all the way to Rome and had a couple of very impressive victories, so he's not unused to fighting in his homeland. Second round just underway. Marvin Haglar on the right in the red trunks. Left hand misses. Haglar now pressing the attack just a little bit more to Obelmejias. Obel with a right hand that came up a little bit short. Wow, left hand.